Hi, in this tutorial I want to explain how to submit form data from the front end to the backend in an Laravel application. So here I have a basic example, so it's a simple HTML file and all I have is a header, h1 heading tutorial on form data and a submit button. So that's all I have. And if I press the submit button, then I create a new form data object from JavaScript and send it via Ajax as a post request to form data. And form data is just showing in the debug bar the request. Whoops. This is something we're going to do later. And then it returns 33. And I think, yes, we sent an alert. So let's just do it. I submit, get 33. And if you look in the debug bar, we've got an empty array. This is simply because form data does not have any values. And so usually if one does Ajax calls, or if you start doing Ajax calls, you usually just pass an object with data. But form data becomes interesting if you want to send something like a file, or maybe an array, or maybe an array of files or something like this. So I will explain how this works. So first of all, I want to show you how to pass an array to the form data and how to send it via the Ajax request. So let's say I have a variable x, I call it array, which is a simple array A, B, and C. And I set the value my array to array. So what will happen now? So let's take a look what we will get if I click on submit. Oh, sorry, I have to refresh the page, of course. So it returns, so let's see. The request all returns an array, and it has as a key my array, and it points to a string. So this is not an array, this is a string ABC. So this did not work as we wanted. This is not the way how you can send an array with Ajax to the backend. What you need to do is to do something like append, and then we have to append A, B, and C through this value my array. So you need to do something like for var e equals 0, e is less than the array length, we need to append this value to my array. So let's see if this works. So as you can see, there's only a C now. So the A and the B is missing. So why is that? Well, this is similar to the situation where you would have something like input name my array, and then value is A, and B and C. If you have such a form and you send it directly with Ajax to the backend, then, or if you have such a form and you submit it, then only my array will be value C. In order to get an array in the backend which has all of these values, you need to denote it like this. And it's exactly the same here with the JavaScript. So if I add brackets here, then it works. My array is suddenly actually an array with 3 values A, B, and C. So this is how you parse an array, which is pretty awesome. And maybe you find yourself in a situation where you want to check how does my form data actually look like. So you can always do something like get your data entries simply by calling entries and you're in the form data object and print it out to the console. So we have pair, which should be the key, and then we have pair 1, which should be the value. So if I do this, I click submit. Submit doesn't work, so maybe I made, it should be called pair. So as you can see, I get I get that my array is a value which has A, B, and C assigned to it, and I get the same output on the console if I remove the brackets. Whoopsie. But I just receive C if I don't have the brackets. Okay, that's really good. And now let's see how you can upload. How can you upload a file through the form data with Ajax? So let's imagine we have something like input ID file. So I can upload file, okay. So how would I upload the file with the form data? Well, I would use something like data set. I call it my file, and now I just have to point to the file. So the file would be document get element by ID, and then it's file, and then it's the syntax for the JavaScript to get the file. So if I do that, I should have the file, should be able to upload the file. So let's see. Wait, let me first refresh the page. Submit this, and what do we get? We get an uploaded file object from Laravel. So this works. So this is how I just added the file to my variable, and then request all already contains the uploaded file, which is a Laravel class, illuminate HTTP uploaded file. Okay, very cool. And lastly, let's say we want to upload multiple images. So of course this won't work because I access files and then I only add the first one. So if I select, whoops, I have to refresh the page. If I select multiple images and I click on submit, then I only get one image, right? That's because we have hard coded it here that use the 0, 1. So let's say we have our files here and we want to add them to our form object. Well, we would do it like before. We would go with a variable e and so I would we don't need that, data.set my file, and then files e. So let's see if that works. 3 images, upload. So it's still 1. Why is it 1 and not 3? Well, it's simply because we used set. And we have seen this before. We need to do append if we want to have multiple files. If we use set, then it will always overwrite, and with append, it will add each file to each other. So if I go quickly to the log, you can see my file has only one object file assigned to it. But if I use append, then if I go to the log, it should be 3 times now. Yeah, there's a 3 here, but my browser is so smart to only show 1 line. But if we click here, it's still 1 array. Well, same issue as before, we need to have square brackets. If we do square brackets, it should finally work. Let's see. Yes, my file is an array with 3 items, and each of them is an uploaded file. So this is how you upload arrays or files with the form data. And yeah, that's it. I hope you had so much fun doing this video and that you finally understand how to use form data when you do an Ajax call to your Laravel application. I wish you all the best. Goodbye.